Hello everyone. In this audio, I will talk to you about the submission of the family reunification application, specifically about the application form, the conditions to be met, and the processing of the application. Let's get started. The family reunification application form. The family reunification application is submitted in France to the Territorial Directorate of the French Office for Immigration and Integration, OFII, in the Department of the Planned Residence for the Family. This application is made by completing and submitting the Cerfa form number 11436-05, accompanied by the required supporting documents listed in its annexes. It is not necessary to provide the originals of these documents. Copies alone are sufficient. The Cerfa form number 11436-05 can be downloaded directly from the OFII website. It is structured as follows. On the first page, you must indicate whether you have previously submitted a family reunification application. Next, you must provide your personal details and information about your residence permit. On the second page, you will provide your professional situation and address. You should know that the housing inspection, by the representatives of the town hall of the applicant's place of residence, will take place at this address. You will also need to provide the address of the beneficiaries abroad and your contact details, in case the OFII needs to contact you. On the third page, you will detail the composition of your family. This involves specifying for which family members the family reunification is requested. The conditions to be met. The person concerned by the family reunification request must generally reside outside France. However, there are exceptions where admission can be granted on-site. The administration may, exceptionally, grant family reunification for individuals already on French territory under specific considerations. The need to avoid separating family members. The best interests of the child. Danger to the person if returned to their country. Additionally, it is generally favorable to on-site admission if two foreigners legally residing in France get married, provided that the beneficiary spouse already holds a one-year residence permit, and that the other conditions for family reunification are met. Housing. Resources. Length of residence in France. The OFII is responsible for processing the application and forwarding it to the prefect. This procedure is exceptional. If the applicant brings their family without following the legal procedure, they may be sanctioned and their residence permit may be revoked, unless they hold a long-term EU resident card issued by France, or are of Algerian nationality, as the Franco-Algerian agreement does not foresee this possibility. Good to know. The obligation to follow a training course to assess knowledge of French and the values of the Republic in the country of origin before issuing the visa no longer exists for families wishing to benefit from family reunification. The law of the 7th of March 2016 abolished this requirement. From now on, the foreigner admitted for the first time in France must engage in a personalized Republican integration path. I would like to point out that the new immigration law, passed in December 2023 and highly contested, aims to reinstate this obligation. On the other hand, the beneficiary must not pose a threat to public order. The concept of a threat to public order is very difficult to define precisely. It generally refers to the set of mandatory rules affecting the organization of the nation, the economy, morals, health, security, public peace, and the essential rights and freedoms of each individual. It is important to know that a person who has been convicted does not necessarily represent a threat to public order. The beneficiary must not suffer from a disease listed in the international health regulations, or one that endangers public order or public safety. The disease or infirmity of the beneficiaries of family reunification must not endanger public health. This includes diseases under the international health regulations established by the World Health Organization. Yellow fever, smallpox, plague, cholera. Contagious diseases in the progressive phase. Tuberculosis, leprosy. The beneficiary must not compromise public order or public safety. This involves not committing offenses related to drug addiction or consumption of substances or plants classified as narcotics. Evolving or severe chronic mental illnesses incompatible with social life, including profound mental disorders. However, a waiver can be requested from the director of the regional health agency, subject to medical monitoring measures, particularly in cases of tuberculosis or conditions resulting from poor living or hygiene conditions. If there are several beneficiaries, they must come together. The principle is that family reunification must be requested for all family members. Partial family reunification is therefore prohibited, except in the best interest of the child. It is generally prohibited to bring family members in multiple stages, but there are exceptions. The administration can exceptionally authorize partial family reunification in the child's best interest. For example, this might be the case for a child from a union between the beneficiary's spouse and a third party, where the third-party parent holding parental authority has not yet given consent for the child to be included in the process. It may also apply when the child is hospitalized in the country of origin, or the housing in France is not large enough. If only one family member poses a threat to public order, family reunification can still be requested for the other members. Regarding the beneficiary, or beneficiaries of the family reunification request, the request must be made in your own name. The OFII is required to send all correspondence related to your request to your home address, even if you wish to be represented by a lawyer for the entire procedure. You must complete your Cerfa form in black ink and in capital letters if filled out by hand. You must write in French. If family members reside in a country where the alphabet is not Latin, you should write their address in the corresponding alphabet on a document to be attached to the Cerfa. Remember to date and sign the Cerfa form before sending it exclusively by post. In the envelope, you must include photocopies of the necessary documents for processing your application, in the order listed in Annex 1 of the Cerfa. Do not staple them. In some cases, the applicant will need to provide additional documents. For instance, if bringing an adopted child, the adoption decision, subject to subsequent verification by the public prosecutor of its validity when pronounced abroad. When family reunification is requested for children whose one parent is deceased or has lost parental authority, the death certificate or the decision of withdrawal must be provided. When family reunification is requested for a minor child of the applicant or their spouse, who has been entrusted to them under a foreign court decision exercising parental authority, this decision must be provided, along with the other parent's consent for the child to come to France, in accordance with the legislation of the country of residence. When the request concerns the spouse of a foreign national from a country where polygamy is allowed, divorce certificates of the applicant or their spouse, if applicable, as well as a sworn statement from the applicant certifying that family reunification will not create a polygamous situation in France, must be provided. Upon receipt of the complete application, the OFII will immediately issue a certificate of application receipt. This certificate starts the 6-month period provided by law to process the request. The family abroad must submit their visa application at the time of filing the application in France. Processing the request. The territorially competent prefect or, in Paris, the prefect of police, is immediately informed of the submission of the family reunification application. The OFII services send a copy of the application to the mayor of the municipality of residence of the foreigner, or the mayor of the municipality where the foreigner plans to settle. The mayor then verifies whether the income and housing conditions are met and if the applicant respects the essential principles governing family life in France. If the mayor does not respond within 2 months, their opinion is considered favorable. Be very careful with the new immigration law, which stipulates that the mayor's lack of response within the 2-month period will now be considered unfavorable. The OFII completes the processing if necessary and returns the file to the prefect. The prefect makes the decision and informs the OFII services, including the date when the decision was notified to the applicant. The OFII promptly communicates this information to the mayor and to the diplomatic or consular authority in the jurisdiction where the applicant's family resides. Important. The prefect must respond within a maximum of 6 months from the submission of the complete file. In case of no response, the request can be considered rejected, and the applicant may appeal against the implicit rejection. This concludes our presentation on submitting a family reunification application. Before we go, I would like to inform you that we have assembled a team of international legal experts who can assist you at every step of your family reunification application process. We also offer web pages with audio tutorials in MP3 format in French, with subtitles in English and Arabic, to guide you through your procedures step by step. These very useful audio tutorials are available for just €1.99. Feel free to watch our service presentation video, available in our list of video links. Our services are comprehensive and ensure efficiency in the success of your family reunification application. We can assist you with preparing your application, collecting the required documents, checking the quality of the provided documents, organizing these documents, filling out the Cerfa Form 11436-05, among other services. With our support services, you can reduce the risk of having your application rejected due to incomplete or incorrect documentation. Our services also ensure you receive a response within reasonable time frames, rather than waiting for a response far beyond these limits. Thanks to a strict methodology, we give you every chance of a successful outcome in your appeals. Feel free to contact us. See you soon.